So I feel like I need to apologize to myself, but I don't have to apologize. That's the beautiful part about this earth and this life, is that I don't have to apologize for who I am or how I act or how I react. If I feel like I did something wrong, I can absolutely repent and say, hey, I'm so sorry I reacted that way. This is what happened. And I do that with my daughter. If I, snap off, I'm like, I am so sorry, buddy. That was not okay. And that's teaching her to also apologize for her energy as well. Like the energy she gives off, because energy is the number one language. It's natural law. The only currency there is your energy. And that's what has been stolen from us by our system, by the churches, by our family members. So I don't want to out my sister. I don't want to out my older sister. I don't out my mom. I don't want to out them. I don't want to talk bad about them. I never wanted to. I never wanted to get on the internet and share the things they did to me. I never want to do that. I never wanted to hurt them. I don't want to hurt anybody. But what they have done to me is so damaging and so hurtful. And I think that now they're starting to see it. Maybe now they're starting to see it, but because I chose to live differently, right? When I was in my early 20s, I didn't have kids. I chose to live with my mom. I paid her rent to live there. I paid her car insurance. That was my rent. I had one bedroom there. One little space. I didn't get to decorate anything else. And even the bathroom, I decorated. She ended up using we had to share a bathroom because her shower was too small. She didn't like it. So I still did not have my own space. I still couldn't just bring guys over. I couldn't do what I want to do. I was still living under the roof. And I didn't like it. It was damaging to me. And because I would go out with my friends, I would hear comments like, oh, you have FOMO. Oh, you have this. I was working 2 jobs, you guys, and running a business is what I was doing out of my mom's house when I lived with her. And then I also had a boyfriend that she did not like, but he loved me so much. She could not get over her own ego when it came to him. Actually, almost every boyfriend I've had. She cannot get over her own ego. Even Andrew, she won't even give a chance to because of the paperwork she read in the court. Okay, but you have not actually gotten to know this person. You are judging based off a piece of paper in the court. That to me is gross behavior. It's bad influence on my daughter, and I don't like that. But I will never take that relationship away. I will never take the relationship away between my mom and my sister and my daughter. Even though they have literally felt like my divorced parents since I've had Aveline. They think they have a say over my life, over her life. So when I was living with my mom, because things got so bad and she was literally telling me to go to therapy. So I went to therapy. I went to the therapist. I was reading self-help books. I was actually educating my mindset, right? So, hi, Boyan. I was going to conferences in Vegas. I was really, doing things to, I'm not the victim, trying to get past my own traumas, my own life. I was, had the mindset that I needed, which is, again, why I was working 2 jobs, okay? And I was starting a business, a hair business. I was doing updos at weddings. Doing hair to my mom's house. I was working in the salon, and I was working full-time as a legal assistant / closing assistant. So I know a lot of things. I'm actually really fucking smart and know how to do stuff. I worked my way up that law firm to being a closing assistant because I was such a good worker. So when I left there, the owner even said, why are you leaving? He's like, if you need a letter of recommendation, I'm always here for you. Now he's not. Now he just recently passed away, unfortunately. But that's how, good of a person I was. I was always showing kindness, always showing love, always showing good energy. And these people, my handlers, right, thought they owned me. So when I quit, I realized that the office job wasn't for me. I want to start my own salon business. I had the clientele outside, plus I had a few of my clients in the salon I was working at. You're not supposed to take them, but obviously, if you vibe with them, you're going to give them your number. That's just what we do. So anyways, I had a whole clientele. And I needed to escape. I needed to leave Minnesota because of the toxic environment I was living in with my mom. And this is not to talk shit, but the constant shame, ridicule, me saying I want to start my own business. Oh, you don't even have a business plan set up yet. And I'm like, God, she's right. I'm just hearing this voice over my head. That's not my voice. It's not my voice. It's not my God. My God was not speaking to me. It was another man, another human, not man, obviously my mom, but I had these other humans thinking that they owned me and that they can control me. And I'm like, this is not, no. So, I sneakily packed my bag. I was doing all these rallies. When I quit my job, I started doing MAGA Nationwide. I started doing live videos. I got something I was really passionate about, politics. I did want to be president someday. That was my goal, you guys, was to be I don't know about the first female, because obviously there's many years ahead of me, but I thought, maybe I'll be the first female president. Who knows? Those are the goals and dreams I had as a human, not like everybody else where I want to be a doctor, I want to be this. I was like, I want to make some change. And I realize these politicians are buffoonery. There's no making change. It's all theater. They don't give a shit about you. I'm sorry, but they don't. They're too busy. There's too much to read. They're just signing things. They don't even actually know what they're signing, but they're signing over laws over our lives. It's like, what the hell? They're all living in the same bird. They're all religious people who think that they can control people's lives. That's what they're doing in these politicians, and I don't support that anymore. I don't support any of it. I believe that we're all sovereign beings, that we should all be able to literally live in our homes, grow our own food, not have to worry about a government, get pulling permits in your own home to build things. I don't think you should have to worry about permits for anything in your life. I don't think you should have to pay property taxes. Like, life is supposed to be free. It's not supposed to cost money. And somehow we're in a system that makes it cost money. So anyways, this is all the things I've been learning, right? So I'm not like the others. I'm much different. So anyways, this constant shame, ridicule, trying to control my life, trying to make comments, just putting me down because I go out with my friends, and I was like, again, I was living the high life, dude. I was in VIP at the clubs. Like, I was going to, I was living, like, literally the best life ever. Like, what you could be living for, like, people from my age, you know? My mom didn't get to do that because she had kids at 19. Her baby at 19. So, my sister and my mom thought they controlled and owned me, so when I connected with this guy from doing social media, his name is Max Payne on Facebook. Sorry, Michael. I outed you. So anyways, he had I had a lot of people messaging me when I was doing MAGA Nationwide, a lot of people, and I was so humble about it. I thought, wow, these people really like me. They really appreciate the things I have to say. Like, it was very inspiring, and it gave me a high. And I would go to the Capitol to these rallies, and these people would be like, "Hi, Stephanie," and they'd know who I was, and I didn't know who they were, so it was a little bit weird. And even when I took my daughter to some of these rallies, my family had comments to say about me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Just leave me alone, dude. Just leave me and my daughter alone. We are not living the same life as you. So anyways, back to the Hawaii thing. So anyways, me and Max Payne connected on Facebook. We literally talked on the phone for 7 hours a day. 7 consecutive hours. And still to this day, we could probably talk on the phone for 7, just talking about everything. The things that we're saying, this. We had the most amazing conversations. And they weren't even about our feelings and our emotions. They were about everything going on in the world, a little bit about our upbringing. But it was again, we just had these really deep conversations that I really enjoyed. And I'm and then he said something about me moving to Hawaii with him and let's get married. And I was like, I mean, right now in my situation, that doesn't sound half bad, you know? And again, it had nothing to do with him being in Hawaii. I didn't even care about that. It was this connection that I felt, and I was in such a toxic environment that I needed this. So this is the way the universe works for us, whether you want to see it or not. My friend was moving back to Yuma with her kids. Her husband was in the military. Boyan, you want me to help you? My friend was moving back to Yuma, which is down the border of Mexico. So my plan was I was going to pack my suitcase, which I packed everything I wanted. Everything else I left. I just left everything else behind me and was see ya. I literally planned to never come back. That's how over it I was with my family. So I packed a suitcase. I drove my friend's moving truck down to Yuma. It was quite the experience driving that big ass moving truck, but it was fun. I had a fun experience. I had fun with her daughters. And she knew my plans. And on the way, so I told my older sister, thinking don't tell mom, I know she's gonna freak out, but just this is my plan. I'm giving you this guy's name. I'm giving you all this information so you know where I'm at. That's what I was being responsible. I was being smart about it. But I was still going to make my own decision, not something somebody else is trying to tell me. So I am on my way out there, and I start getting, I'm driving this big ass moving truck, and I'm getting text messages. You better get home right now. I know what you're doing. I will do everything in my power to make sure you don't get on that plane. You guys, that lit something inside of me. I will do everything in my power to make sure somebody else is telling me, Stephanie, what to do? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not want your lives. I saw the way that I grew up. I do not, listen, I know there's better. I know there's better, and I'm gonna get it, okay? I know there's better. I've always known there's paradise. I've always known there's better, and I was going to get that. Unfortunately, me and Michael did not work out, but we had a great time in Hawaii. Avalani, everything that way the whole thing worked out was literally divine. It couldn't have been better. Just everything, the way everything literally has worked out in my life, it's been lined up by something higher than myself. And I'm dang, dude, because I listened to my spirit. I didn't listen to man. I didn't listen to the church. I didn't listen to my friends. I didn't really have that many close friends, thankfully, because if I did have really close friends, oh, Stephanie, you shouldn't do that. Oh, you shouldn't leave. And my one friend that I was hanging out with a lot at the time, she was really upset when I left. But she was also living a life that I didn't want to continue living. Like, sure, the VIPs are fun. The clubbing and drinking was fun. We had a great time. But we're also getting older, and I want to get married and have kids. Like, I actually have, like, I want to have a family someday. I want to do all that. I want to be a politician. And I felt like that life was just, like, I was getting out of that life. And I went to the married life, and I had a baby, and I thought, wow, perfect. You know, her dad is in the military, so that looks good for politics, right? Like, that was more what it was. Like, I don't even know. Again, there was a love there. There was something there, but it was like, it looked good on paper. The military guy, he's Hispanic, part Hispanic. Like, it was just like all these things that look good to the political world. Like, that's how I would date guys, you know? And it's like, now I'm dating based off, like, appearances and, like, things like that, rather than like the connection or the heart. Again, there's still a little bit of connection, but I realized that about myself, that I was choosing men off things that would help me out, which, as we should be with people who are good partners. But anyways, my mom and my sister stalked me. My dad flew down to try to stop me to Arizona. He actually flew down to Arizona, and the craziest part is that he actually had connected with my friend's dad and sister. I believe they were flying down. And they were at the same rental car place having a conversation. So my dad showed up to my friend's house, and there they were. He was like, oh my God, hi. And I was like, wait, how do you guys know each other? And they're like, oh, we just met at the car rental place. And like, fucking, this world is getting crazy. As I literally have all these threatening messages coming from my mom. I have a MAGA Nationwide. I'm doing all these messages from that. Like, my phone is blowing the fuck up. I am like, oh, my anxiety was like through the roof, you guys. And then I have like my dad there trying to stop me. And I'm like, listen, Dad, here's the deal. I said, either you can drive me to San Diego airport, and I'm getting on that plane, or I'm going to take the Greyhound. Like, I'm taking the Greyhound. That's what I'm doing. So he drove me to San Diego, and I got on that plane, and I went to Hawaii, and I found out some lies about Michael, Eloni's dad, before I got there, that, like, I don't know why I didn't, like, I should have listened to my spirit, but at the same time, we more got married because, for insurance purposes. Like, by that point, we had planned to get married and have a baby. I got my IUD taken out. I got pregnant right away. It was crazy. Immediately, like, probably the first time I got pregnant, and I had literally just had the IUD taken out. I thought it would, like, take a while. So I'm fertile, very fertile. And so we conceived Avalani, and things started to go downhill. But we had to get married because I wasn't gonna have insurance. Like, this baby was being born in March, and at the time, with the way the government worked, is that I was on my dad's insurance until I was 26. Or 20, was it 25? Yeah, 25. Once you turn 26, you're off. So we got married more for insurance purposes. And then he sent me back to Minnesota, or I offered. I said, how about I go back to Minnesota? Because he had plans to get deployment. Like, he was probably getting deployed. And, well, that's what he told me anyways. So I came back to Minnesota to work. I was pregnant by myself, living with my dad, thinking that, like, you know, and I was looking into getting my Ohio cosmetology license so I could do hair out there. And I started learning with the sex trafficking stuff. And I'm like, sex trafficking? What's that? Like, I didn't realize there was this whole, like, ring going on below me. And that took me down a whole other rabbit hole of stuff going on. But anyways, I have been stalked and harassed by my own family because they thought they owned me, and now they're still like harassing me. Like, my sister just called. What's wrong, honeys? My sister just called Child and Family Services on me because I didn't enroll Avalani by October 1st. And if it was just that, that'd be just that. But it wasn't just that. It was when I had Avalani. Well, first of all, the whole telling my mom, like, betraying me and telling the government, my mom, you know, that I was going to Hawaii, that caused a whole fucking thing on me. And then I got back, I wanted nothing to do with these people, so I literally told my whole family when they were not even at the cabin. Not on purpose, it was not on purpose. I know it hurt them, but I was just like, I never wanted to speak to these people again after what they did to me. Like, they called the military base, you guys. Like, they tried to call Michael, they tried to call the military base, they were, like, stalking me and harassing me, and I was actually, like, I'm thankful for Michael, because I was able to, like, see that I was being controlled and manipulated by abusive people. Okay? Like, I don't care what, if people, you know, my family says, oh, Steph's having another episode. No, I'm actually sharing the truth about the things that I grew up with, and I have a right to feel emotional about the things that happened to me. We all have a right to feel emotional about the way that we were brought up. Right? As a kid, we were so told, stop crying. If you don't stop crying, I'll give you a reason to cry. We were literally being given spankings for having emotions, or being threatened with being hit for having an emotion. How is that not abuse? And it's not our parents' fault. Like, our parents, it was done to them. It's like this generational thing of this high Hitler authoritarian household. And I'm seeing that cycle being repeated in my sister's house. And it's scary. It scares me. Like, I am scared of my mom and my sister. As an adult, I'm a 33-year-old woman. I am afraid of my family. Energetically, like, they terrify the fuck out of me. And I know my uncle feels the same way, because he even said, you Douglas women terrify me. And I know what he's talking about. We are scary. Like, even Andrew, I think, sometimes is scared of me, because I'm also scary. Women are scary. I have seen women do some very terrifying things. My friends, like, we have this, like, witch in us. It's like this witch, and you can either be a good witch or you could be a bad witch. And when we are disconnected from our emotions and our feelings, this mommy rage comes out of us, and we're like, ah, you know, like crazy, you know? And, like, that's not healthy. Like, we need to have emotional intelligence come to, like, not Jesus, but come to self. You come to self and realize, hey, maybe these things I'm doing isn't good for me and my child's life, or isn't good for my life, or whatever. Like, you make your own decisions. Like, your own consciousness is going to tell you when your body has had enough. I view, like, alcohol and drugs and all that stuff, like, people who do that, the one thing I will say is that my friends, like, growing up, now learning the truth about my friends' parents, the number one friend of my friend, that the mom I remember the most, the mother I remember the most being the most loving to me. She'd buy me a Yoo-hoo, she'd buy us Yoo-hoos, and she was just, like, so loving and so kind and just, like, the sweetest mom ever. I found out was a meth addict. And I'm like, wow, I had no idea your mom had issues with meth growing up. I'm sure if my mom knew that, she probably would have never let me hang out with you. But because I got that connection, like, I was like, that's the kind of mom I want to strive to be, is someone who actually, like, loves, like, children unconditionally and, like, hears them out and doesn't just shut them down because they're a child. Because that's the kind of environment I grew up in. And then as I got older, these people still thought they owned me. And I'm like, listen, I am not some property to be owned by anybody. Not my family, not a government system, not the police, nobody. I'm not doing anything wrong. I am literally just living life the way I want to live, the way I want my kids to live it. Because I do feel like I didn't have a choice growing up. I didn't have a choice with my body. I didn't have a choice over how I wore my hair. I didn't have a choice about where I was. It was constantly as being trafficked from one place to the next. And in this process of being trafficked, I was destroyed. My spirit was destroyed, as I had doctors at 11 years old, male doctors, sticking their fingers on my private parts, the place that I was told I'm not supposed to let anybody touch. But it's okay, as long as my mom says it's okay, and the doctor says it's okay, the white girl. What's wrong, Boyan? Are you good? Hi. I'll get you something to chew on. Listen, what these doctors are doing, and the fact that they cut off the most sensitive part of a little baby's body at birth, like, that's child mutilation, that's child sacrifice. Like, I don't know how we are living in a society that, like that. Talk about mind manipulation. Talk about and it's not just Christians that do this. Muslims do it to their females 8 years old. They cut off the clit. But Christians are cutting off, and Jews are cutting off the most sensitive part of your son's body. The most, that is sexual abuse. That is sexual. You are literally taking a little knife and you're cutting off. I don't care if there's drugs now at this point in these babies or not. You are cutting off something that's not yours. I thought Hollywood was trafficking children. Like, I thought that there's this, like, child trafficking elite somewhere, like, that's trafficking our children all over the place. And I was so scared about my kid being trafficked. Like, I would literally not even let her go outside without me, like, being present. Not even the backyard, because I thought someone might jump my fence and take her and traffic her. When she got lost in Walmart, it was dying. Like, it was during COVID. It was when everyone was wearing the masks, and I thought, this is it. This is how they're going to traffic all of our children. They're going to see children get snatched. I mean, my mind created delusions, you guys, during COVID, where I thought the whole plan was for them to start taking kids and snatching them up and whatever else. Well, it's not people in the street doing that. It's, like, other parents. It's DCF. It's CPS. It's Child Family Services. It's organizations done by the government, paid for by the government, that are actually, like, trafficking children. It's parents actually trafficking children. They're not giving their child a choice. They're not asking their child, what do you want? What's up? Especially in all these, like, divorce cases. Like, even growing up for me, I grew up in a family who I had divorced parents, and it was very damaging. Like, I wanted to live with my dad, okay? I wanted to live with my dad when I was, I think, 11 years old. I think it was, like, 10 or 11. What's up, boyans? You want to go on your exerciser? And I was not allowed to. Like, my mom read my diary. She violated my trust, violated my boundaries, and I did have those. I know that nobody thinks that 10 or 11-year-olds have rights to their bodies or boundaries, but they do. And when they are violated by their parents, that resentment stays within you, and that is required a lot of forgiveness, which is why I don't need therapy, because I've forgiven, but I don't trust. And I have a right not to trust because of the things that I have been through. Hi, Boya. Hi. You are so cute. I have a right not to trust the people in my life because of the things they've put me through. I have a right not to trust the school system because of what I am the witness, what I personally witnessed and experienced. I am asking these kids who come to my house, what's up? I'm asking these kids who come to my house what their opinions are. Teachers, who's your favorite teacher? Who's your favorite teacher? Why? What's going on? And what I'm hearing is, like, I don't want to put my kid in that. Like, no, thank you. Like, cool. Good for you guys. You guys want to send your kids to school. That's great. I want to teach my child how to build businesses, how to do something she really loves, and create something big out of that. Create abundance out of something that she loves doing. Not something she feels forced to do. Like, even the other day, she told me, she said, Mom, Mimi asked me what I want to be when I grow up, and I told her a doctor. But I don't actually want to be a doctor. I want to be a model. But I knew if I told Mimi that, she'd be like, oh, well, you should be something like a teacher or a nurse. Or she knew my mom that well. Like, Avalani knows my mom that well, where she tells me stuff like that. And, like, I'm not going to share everything she tells me because it doesn't matter. But me and her, like, have so much connection that she shares everything with me. And I'm like, I did not have this with my mom. I did not have this connection. I did not have this closeness to my mom. And, like, this is a beautiful thing I'm experiencing. Like, I have more patience and peace in my house. Like, just seeing how smart and aware these kids are has been, like, mind-blowing for me. Like, I am learning through my child about child psychology. And even Boyan, too. I'm learning about children, and it's been a really amazing experience. So when people try to tell me, like, especially, like, my sister, when she's coming at me because I'm homeschooling, and she even told Child and Family Services, Stephanie openly disagrees or publicly disagrees with the public school system or whatever. She tried to make me look bad, I think is what she was trying to do. I don't know. She said it wasn't malicious. But when your own sister is calling a social service like that, that's Nazi shit. Sleep training your kids and abandoning them in their bed is Nazi stuff. Telling me that my child can't have a pacifier if she stays at your house is Nazi behavior. Literally going to be away from the one thing that soothes her most is her mom, and you want to take her pacifier away, that's Nazi behavior. Telling me I should vaccinate my kid and bullying me in the family Snapchat group, saying, oh, I don't know how people could want this for their kids, as her kid is literally sick and she vaccinates. But she's telling me about how... She's telling me how I should parent, but yet I don't agree with the way she parents at all. I think it's very abusive and damaging, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to that. But I want the harassment to stop. I want them to stop harassing me. I want them to leave me alone. I want Andrew's family to leave him alone. What they did to her. Same thing. They did the same thing to Andrew, his parents, or his mom, or not his mom, his dad and his wife and his sister did the same thing to him that my family did. They actually thought they owned him. They truly thought that they owned him. And that is some terrifying shit that I've seen. Like, that's where I saw. I was like, this is abusive behavior. They're abusing the court system. They're conspiring against you. This is abusive behavior done by your family. These are your handlers. This is like child trafficking as an adult. You know what I mean? Like, he's being thrown in jail for trying to contact his children. That's how bad our system has gotten. It's allowed parents to literally traffic humans. The court system, these judges are playing God. These attorneys don't actually help people that need to be helped. And it's concerning to me what I am witnessing and seeing. So we need to fix that. I'm going to go and take care of my little baby. I love you. You just need a nap, or what do you mean? I love you. All right, have a great day. Love